right, man. I feel like it's been a long time since when I'm walking away from a Saw movie, I'm like, yo, that shit was fucking crazy. Like, and not be like, that part was cool, other parts, this one right here, it just felt like, I know this is pretty much an overused phrase, but a return to form. Return to its roots, all the fucking buzzwords, all that shit. This just really felt like it was back to Saw, but at the same time, being probably the most violent one out of all of them. Now, of course, spoiler free in the beginning, but this movie was fucking crazy, and I fucking loved it. Now, by saying I loved it, I couldn't watch most of it because the brutality I was seeing, I almost used instant transmission to leave the theater because I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy, man.
Yeah, I'm still speechless because fuck that
exactly.
shit. I'm gonna be realistic when I say this. Who in their right mind created half of these scenes? Because you have to go to the drawing board and you all have to meet and greet at that big ass, producer table. And somebody has to write off on this shit, right?
I'm gonna tell you exactly how they did it. They thought about somebody that they can't fucking stand, somebody they want to mangle, and like, if I were to mangle them, I would do it like this. Cause that's some personal shit I saw in this movie. And I don't feel like that sometimes. Some motherfuckers that I hate, I'm like, yeah, this is what I would do if I was, a wild motherfucker. Yeah, man. You see it play out on the screen, I'm like, y'all niggas hate somebody. Because Jesus Christ.
Shit, not only that, like half of the shit you saw in this movie. What I like was everything had a purpose. It had meaning. Every scene had meaning.
Mm-hmm.
And I was surprised how emotions were running high in this film. As in, damn, I felt bad. Everything just connected very well.
Mm-hmm.
I was impressed. And then I've always been able to handle Saw movies. I've been able to handle Saw movies ever since the first Saw movie came out. I'm talking about some chill shit. Like, damn, that's fucked up. That's disgusting, but I'm watching it. This right here, I wanted to take my head off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Turn it around and just look at the projector. Because that shit I saw in this movie was just very...
It was crazy. But speaking of projector...
Oh.
Now, our movie-going experience was great because the movie was amazing. What was not amazing was the theater we went to, and I'm sorry to have to do this, but it comes to time where you got to put theaters on blast. Now,
you sorry? Hold up, what do you mean you sorry? I'm not. Jersey is my. That's right here for me, right? That theater, that's right here. It's across the street from the mall that I go to almost 3 times a week as I grew up. I watched that theater rise.
We watched it fall.
Watched it fucking fall
because. There's a theater in Cherry Hill, an AMC theater that we've been going to since one of the Avengers movies, dating all the way back to then. It was one of the greatest theaters. The experience was always great. I don't know when this shit happened, but they just stopped giving a fuck. Your feet stuck to the floor. The bathroom looking like something from Walking Dead and Saw combined.
And we ain't blaming COVID no more.
Nah,
we ain't doing that shit. We done with that shit.
This movie was supposed to start at 9:40. We walked in there. Everything's black. They don't show no trailers, no nothing. It's past 10 o'clock. We're like, yo, what is going on?
We start asking people, yo, how long has this shit been like this? You always been like this for a while. Well, why ain't y'all saying nothing? Now I got to go out to the front. Hey,
So, about 30 minutes late, the shit finally starts, and we start from the beginning with the trailers and all that, because I'm like, y'all better not start in the middle of the fucking movie. So luckily, we saw the whole movie, but it's like there's experiences like this where it gets annoying. So we might have to write that theater off because that was my go-to theater for a minute, and then it started falling off. I'm like, we'll give it another chance, but now I'm done.
I was about to say, what the hell do you mean, Mike? I'm done. You have to be done. For me, it's a wrap, and that's my childhood home theater, and I'm saying fuck it. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna make this part quick. The front of the theater is deteriorating. It's ashy. It needs to be repainted. You go inside the theater, has a foul smell, sticky floors walking in the motherfucker. They no longer decorate. They used to get you prepped for every movie, Poster here, poster there. One of my favorite concession stands that's like right in front of the auditoriums. They closed that down for almost 4 years now, never reopened it. The staff is trash. They don't care about their jobs.
It's just like, it's just you get the vibe that nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody.
And when nobody gives a fuck, that shows on the theater.
Yep, it smells like it doesn't give a fuck. It looks like it doesn't give a fuck. My hometown Cherry Hill Theater is gone. It's shitty. And guess what? Fuck it.
It's a shame, but rest in peace to that theater because we done with that. No more. Had some great experiences. I'll hold on to those. We ain't going back. I'm tired of this shit. Anyway, back to the movie. Movie was flames, though.
Thank God the movie was good.
The movie was flames. There's not really much I can say about this spoiler free without ruining it. So I'm just going to say that I love this movie. It was Jigsaw in his prime. Like you, and they. Okay, I can't say that because it's spoiler material. But like the movie was just great. The kills just felt. They felt new. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it felt different. Like in a way you haven't seen this shit before, and it affected me on a level where like I'm like I can't watch this shit. Like I almost became a gargoyle. I almost turned to stone on top of the fucking chair because I'm like I don't want to see this.
Knees to shoulders.
Like I was breakdancing and rotating all around the chair to the point where I was doing yoga damn near. I'm like I don't know where to go.
Yeah, I think the sounds probably bothered you too.
It was brutal, man, and they just had you in the fucking moment, and it was just I'm like I don't want to be here. I feel like I was in the room. I felt like Jigsaw was looking at me like, yeah, you're next. Like, I don't want to be here. I don't want no parts of this.
That's how I felt. And when you watch the movie, you look at the settings of it, everything was in one room.
Yeah.
And for it to be in one room and for it to have the amount of characters in it that it had, it really felt like it was expanded because the brutality of it really had me in a position where I was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I was uncomfortable, but the bullshit he was doing in this movie to these people, it was meaningful.
Crazy. Timeline-wise, this fits between Saw 1 and Saw 2, and it felt like it because it felt like it came out around that time. Like, those Saw movies were different. Like, they were made different. Like, different things happened. Like, it just had a different vibe to it. That's all the only way I can really explain it. Like, it just felt more gritty and more personal. This felt like that, like, in a way that I didn't even expect. We'll get to that in the spoiler part, but, like, go see this fucking movie. If you like the first Saw movie, the second Saw movie, the third, go watch this joint, man, because this joint is crazy, man. It's crazy. I loved it. Like, a lot of the Saw movies past Saw 3, I've been indifferent about. I mean, not indifferent, but I've been kind of wishy-washy. Like, some I like, some I don't like. And there's parts in the movies where I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's you know what I mean? Like, even...
They started to become a little bit more... How?
Jigsaw I did like, even though there were some parts in that where I'm like, but, you know, I still enjoyed it. Even Spiral. Like, Spiral felt like it was trying to go back to how Saw used to be. Like, I fucked with Spiral. It wasn't a perfect movie, but it was still, you know what I mean? It was still dope. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't perfect. This joint right here, there's no part of this movie where I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, the whole movie, I was rocking with it from beginning to end. Like, in the end, you know what I mean? Like, they was doing the damn thing. I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy.
Even when you're watching it, I got to a point where there were like certain things that didn't make sense to me, but then they made sure they covered that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want you to figure shit out. And my God, you're not going to figure out a lot of things in this film, but they cover it very well. They come back around to it and they make sure they don't leave this scene that seems open-ended.
Mm-hmm.
Open-ended. They close everything in this bitch. I
appreciated that because I had a great fucking time. So, final spoiler-free words, go see this joint. It is worth seeing in the theater so you can backflip just like we did.
Yes, it is. It is worth.
There will be suffering.
It is worth seeing in the theater.
Oh yeah,
just not the fucking theater we went to.
Yeah, not that one. Like they don't. And I hate to put a theater on blast, but you got to do it sometimes. Like when y'all keep fucking up and y'all don't give a fuck, then you don't have my money anymore because that shit is just whack.
Right? They don't give a fuck. Why should we? $50 for popcorn, but I gotta walk on.
Exactly.
No, I'm.
You gotta walk, and then your foot might lift up out of your shoe because your shoe's stuck to the floor.
I mean, it's bad enough. I've been wearing the same sneakers for almost 6 years now. They're gonna rip off the fucking soles of my shit.
And let's not even forget to mention the fact that these are reclining seats, but the two seats we were in just didn't fucking work. The one on this side of me worked. That one on that side of you worked. There's people sitting on so we can hop seats, but these two just did not work. So I'm like, not even your fucking seats work? Like, what are y'all doing?
The recliner and reset buttons doesn't work. Mind you, this is the 6th movie we've seen here where I was unlucky enough to have my shit not work. So I'm watching everybody in their lazy, cozy position. Meanwhile, I'm sitting like this.
You gotta just get. You know what I mean? I can't even have my feet up to try to like move around. Like I'm sitting here just like this.
No, I'm done, bro. I'll go to Cherry Hill Mall still because they keep up with that, but that theater can kiss my ass.
Yeah, fuck that. So with that being said, we're gonna get into some spoilers in 3, 2, 1. What I loved about this movie and what never really happened before, it's like this is the first movie where you was rooting for Jigsaw. You was rooting for this nigga. Like technically, he was the good guy in this joint. Like, and the more I think about it, I'm like, if these niggas had actually cured him like they claim to do, this nigga would have stopped. He would have stopped because like he was after the operation, he was over there drawing the thing and he's like, you know what, fuck this. Like he ripped it up, like threw it out, like nah, I'm done with this shit.
He bought a bottle of tequila.
Yeah, like he was he, like this was a brand new Jigsaw. Like he was emotional, he was happy. It's like, you know, like she you know brought the tequila out for good luck. I'm gonna buy her a bottle of tequila as you know for thanks. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all all helped me, so you know I'm gonna hook y'all up. This nigga bought a bottle of tequila, and you know that was the expensive shit for her. They fucked with the wrong one because this nigga is nice. Like they kidnapped him and put him in the black van and drove him. But this nigga is nice. Like this is what he does. So he was able to triangulate where they were. So you know he went there to just you know drop the bottle off. Like yeah, all right, appreciate y'all. I'm gonna be out of here. And then stumbled on the whole operation. These motherfuckers was scamming millions out of people. Millions. And it was some crazy shit. Like if you do it to a regular person, there's nothing they can do about it.
There ain't shit they can do.
By the time they find out, it's too late and they fucking die.
Ain't shit you can do.
John Kramer, on the other hand, is the Grim Reaper. So you fuck him over,
yeah,
that's your ass.
I'll find you. Yeah, that's a different. He put a different spin on that shit.
That's your ass. Like it showed him like even in the beginning when the dude that's about to steal from the guy that I don't know whether he's in a coma, whatever like that.
Yeah.
And then John Kramer just thinks about what he's about to do. I mean, had the fucking eye vacuum and the fucking fingers in joint. Like I'm gonna fuck this nigga up if he do it. And then he sees John there. He puts it back. He's like, yeah, good choice.
Good choice. Good choice.
I was about to fuck your ass up.
The fact that he envisioned what he was going to do to that person.
Yeah, because he knows like in his mind is a crazy place. Like he can set the trap up. Like he's a genius when it comes to this shit. So he knew exactly how it was gonna be, how it was gonna play out, and all that. He's like, yeah, look, if you take that, I mean, ain't nothing but a day for me. I'm gonna set the shit up, and it's gonna be crazy for you.
So I think that scene was that's great writing to me because it allows you to understand how he operates mentally.
It you go into his mind and you see how he operates, how he works, like the method to his madness. You get to see that. I don't think you ever really got to see that before.
You haven't. And now you get a chance to understand he picks his victims because of a situation, you know, because of wrongs that they were getting, because of the wrong shit that they were doing.
Yeah.
You can't just say this nigga's an all-out monster. I get it. He is fucking people up with these traps. But if you think about it, the world would be a better place if people had to face their bullshit.
Now, it gets a little murky when you get empathetic to Jigsaw because he be wilding out sometimes.
Oh yeah, somebody can watch me and you saying this shit saying what?
you feel bad for what? He's right. What do you mean?
He's a monster.
And I get it. Like he goes to the extreme. We can't deny that. He goes to the fucking extreme. You know what I mean? I don't always agree with his methods, but like in this movie I did. Because what the people were doing was some bullshit and it was getting away with murder. They were getting away with murder
and money.
And you saw when they got caught, they threw each other under the bus, whatever like that. They did. I got roped up into it. Yep. Listen, man, the kills in this movie were some of the craziest shit I've seen in a Saw film. But there's been some crazy shit in Saw films. Some stuff that rivals this, but like this one, it was like the slow build up to everything. Like this is a movie that starts off slower because they're setting the scene. They're showing Jigsaw, well, John. They're showing him and his environment, what he's dealing with, stuff that he's going through, he's suffering. I also like how they really show the bond between him and Amanda.
Oh yeah,
because they showed that in other movies a bit, but they've never, to my knowledge, they've never really showed it like this. They show how much she cares for him. Like she damn near looks at him like a father.
Yeah,
like he's not just a partner in crime. Like he's kind of like he's a mentor to her. Like I can't do this without you. Like you know what I mean? We gotta do this. And he's like, no, you're ready. I'm out. Like I'm fucked. Like these motherfuckers fucked me up. There's nothing I can do. Like you gotta. You're ready,
man. What the fuck?
You're ready.
These motherfuckers fuck these. You ain't. This how he thought. These motherfuckers fucked me up. The worst thing you can do is give somebody who is hopeless hope.
And that was the craziest shit. Like seeing John Kramer emotional. Like we've seen him emotional multiple times in this movie. Like you saw the relief in his face when he thought that he was cured.
Yeah, which is why that was so vicious.
They ran the scam on her. She had tubes of Powerade and like, yeah, go drink that in the morning and night and then you can live your life. Like everything's good now.
That hurt my heart because like I just said, you give a hopeless individual hope, but it's not really hope that you are giving them. That is the most vicious and vile. That is some bullshit.
You're playing with their life.
You're playing with their life. You got this man walking outside, smelling fresh air, buying tequila that he probably never fucking bought in his life.
It's crazy. You saw the joy on his face. Him just sitting on the bench, just sketching the trap, and then he just rips it up. So that part right there tells me that if they were successful and cured him, he would have stopped or at least toned down a bit. Like
toned down.
Maybe he wouldn't have stopped completely, but he would have probably toned it down. This was the different John Kramer. And then the scene when like Amanda's embraced him, like I can't do this without you, like you know what I mean, and you see the bond between them, like they both tearing up and crying and all that. Like I've never seen John Kramer shed a tear before.
See that? To show that side of somebody who is so brutal with his punishments, it made everything well rounded. And I really had to stop looking at him like he was a monster. I had to, because you have to look deeper into it. He was verbally saying certain things like, I think everybody deserves a second chance, but how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
And are you going to change?
He always does these things where it's like, you can choose to survive this. Like you can make a choice. Like you can survive this. He does make traps that people can survive. Now, they're extreme. They're extreme. And I feel like some are kind of set up to fail because like you got 3 minutes to do this shit. And ain't nobody gonna be like, oh yeah, let me just saw my shit off immediately. Like they gotta work up the courage to do it. And by the time,
gotta say that word.
By the time they fucking do it, it's too late. Like that shit, they had to saw her. Like you got this little fucking razor wire, and you gotta fucking saw your shit off like that, nigga. I was on the ceiling. Yo, I saw that shit. Yo, I was a cat on the ceiling with my claws in the fucking fabric. I'm like, yo.
And I was just sitting next to you like that Instagram cat.
Yeah.
Just look at that.
Look, I was in shock. I was in disbelief because you gotta fucking do this shit. And shout out to the fucking special effects department. Y'all niggas, the makeup and the special effects, y'all had this shit looking so real. I was feeling the shit in my leg. I was feeling it in my fucking leg. I'm like, yo, I can't do this. I can't get me out of here. Like, because like it showed it going through the skin and all that shit. And then you got the fucking severed leg. And then on top of that, you gotta stick this tube in your fucking bone and get the marrow out? Nigga, what? So she was doing it, but the timer...
Oh, come on, bro.
The timer went out, and then...
stomach hurts.
And then... And it ain't no quick joint either. It's... Just imagine that kind of fear when you see that shit slowly come... Yo, man. So I feel like some people are set up to fail. So it's like...
That's where it shows you that John isn't all the way there up here.
No, he's all the way there. He is.
Because he's intelligent.
He's like, you got to do this shit immediately. Like, you know what I mean? You got this time. He tells you what to do. You can survive this shit, but it's like, nigga, are you going to immediately saw your shit off? No, you got to work up the courage. It's going to take me 3 minutes to fucking work up the courage. By that time, my head's off.
Yeah, but
I'm ready. Like, I'm done.
He got people in positions where they are inflicting the most pain they have ever felt in their lives, and he's giving you're getting 1 minute and 8 seconds to cut into your head.
This nigga that had to fucking do brain surgery on himself. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to think of who had it the worst. You gotta fucking cut through your fucking skull, pop your shit open like a fucking door. And remove pieces of your brain to put it in it. Like, that's crazy, man. And he didn't even survive the shit. And he went through the fucking crazy shit and then got the fucking Aztec mask on him. That's wild, man. Listen, yo. But the crazy thing is the whole time, the main chick's like, you gotta do it. Cut your shit off. Do it.
Oh, that bitch.
She's coaxing everybody into fucking offing himself. She fucking ripped the intestines out the first chick to fucking use it as a rope. I knew she was thrown off. I knew it, but I never put two and two together that she was with the other dude. Like that flew over my head. But of course, John and Amanda knew that they had the whole game planned. Of course, you know what I mean. They motherfuckers threw a curveball and that shit at the end, so they had to improvise.
That was some fucked up shit.
They had to improvise, and that's the first time I seen John in his own trap. But the thing is, like, she was so cocky and she was so evil that she wanted to torture this nigga, and she was just relishing in the fact she had the upper hand. Like, you think you could do this to me? Get in the trap. Yeah. How's it feel now, bitch? How's it feel? How's it feel? All the shit, killing the other chick. I'm like, yo, you evil as fuck.
She really pulled young boy from outside playing soccer because she wanted John to suffer by seeing somebody that he liked. That fucking bitch.
That's just evil shit. And that shows you, like, it shows you the kind of people that he goes after, right? This motherfucker was pure evil. And I really feel like it's this movie that got him to be, like, more gritty and more, like, fuck it. Because he was empathetic in this joint. As crazy as that sounds, he was actually empathetic in this. Like, it showed his connections with people and all of that.
Man, when the one chick died from his trap, he said she won the game. Get her medical attention. She deserves it.
Yeah, well, she didn't die from the trap.
No, that's what I'm saying. She didn't die from it. But
you didn't? Okay, yeah.
He was telling them, like, you know, while he was, like, tied up in his own trap.
Like, she got to go to the hospital because she's alive. Like she won the game fair and square. It's like she got to go to the hospital. So he had every plan, every intention of having her live and go to the hospital. But of course, you know, she's a loose end, so the bitch got to offer, which is crazy.
Super bitch, and then her super dickhead boyfriend who had me throw it off made me think he was coming back to get his money.
Yeah.
Coming to find out he was in on the bullshit too.
It's wild, man. Like, the kills in this movie were some of the craziest ones. And of course, like, what I like about how he killed the main chick is he just left her in there. She can't go nowhere. So just like the nigga from part 1, she's gonna sit there alone and starve to death because there's nothing she can do unless she start eating them papers in there or something like that.
You start eating that niggas next to her. even then, you still
you still can't go nowhere.
You can't go nowhere.
You're just stuck in there.
What you gonna do? Preserve his body? And now that scene where John locked him in the room because she grabbed the bag that she thought the money was in and the timer went off. That was brilliant.
Yeah,
it was sloppy because it didn't go John's way fully. But boy, when that poisonous gas filled the room and main man's skin, they started to fight for
the hole they can stick their head out.
She talking about some John, I won.
Don't leave me, John. Help me.
John was like,
bitch, game over.
Stupid bitch. Yo, she was worse. Her character was worse and more evil than Charlize Theron in The Fast and the Furious.
Oh yeah, way worse.
She was horrible. The way she set up that whole surgery room.
Yeah, the whole facility. These motherfuckers had a fucking DVD playing of brain surgery, acting like they was doing something.
With a video, the first steps for new beginners and shit.
Y'all niggas faking moves to the highest degree. And of course, what I like about John is no loose ends, because that nigga in the beginning that led you to her, that nigga got roped up too. I feel bad for the motherfuckers that left before, you know what I mean, that scene popped up. It's like, you don't never leave when the credits start rolling, because you never know what you're going to see. He brought the thing back to the room from Saw 1. Had him upside down, turned him into the X in the logo.
John said, "Where's your scar?"
That shit that was fucking digging in this.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, man, yo.
He was about to have a scar for real for the rest of his life.
And you got the detective.
Yep.
Back, like, I really like how they did this movie. Like, it felt like the early Saw movies, which I enjoy, because those are the ones that I really fucking loved. Those are really fucking good. This one, like, I've never been rooting for Jigsaw before, but in a weird way, he was the good guy in this joint. He was the protagonist. Like, he was the main character. He was the good guy. Like, he was against motherfuckers that were out to scam niggas. Did everybody deserve to go out like that? That's debatable. But they knew what they was doing. And of course, when they got caught, they threw each other under the bus. Like, oh, I didn't know. Like, yeah, you knew. But it's like, you know what I mean? It was a means to an end. You trying to get by.
He wrote me in. He told me I would be doing something. Man, what scares me about John is, like, he wants you to change your life and do well. What about somebody that just didn't pay their parking tickets?
I mean, he ain't gripping up nobody like that.
I mean,
Unless they going around taking a parking ticket and giving paper cuts to niggas. They become a menace. Like, he's not just gripping up niggas that get parking tickets. He be gripping up half the world.
oh, this nigga John.
You have a whole football field full of niggas in fucking traps.
Yo, this nigga John will make you cut your fucking hand off, cut your leg off, and then dip your remains in vinegar. Now you just gotta say, John, this shit was hard for me to watch. But I'll tell you one thing. If you and your friends don't have shit to do on no, let me rephrase this. If you and your friends are looking for something to do on a Friday night, and you want to do the old school thing where you go to the movies as a group, this movie is going to have you and your friends flipping backwards on the ceiling like this motherfucker.
I was on top of the chair. I was on the ceiling. This shit had me fucking flipping for real. This was crazy.
Chick next to you that came with her boyfriend that had the blanket. Like, I went from seeing somebody like this all tucked in a blanket to just the blanket floating. Like
yeah.
She was the fuck out.
She was hiding a majority of that movie. I was trying to hide, but there's nothing I could do. I was on some more Batman cape shit, like The Dark Knight, because I'm like, there's nowhere I can go. There's nowhere I can fucking go. Like, I don't want to see this shit, but I'm fucking stuck here. This movie's crazy, man. Like, prime Jigsaw, prime John Kramer, and I'm really glad that they brought him back for this, because this is one of my favorite Saw movies in a while. I fucking loved this movie. It's hard to watch because of the crazy traps. I even had trouble watching the cab driver that he gripped up that had the fucking bombs in his arm. He had to fucking cut that shit out. Even that was tame compared to the other shit.
I was about to say that compared to the bullshit that came later in the movie, his shit was watchable. Mind you, that was painful for him to have to dick.
Yeah, but he still survived it. And John was like, yo, you good. You're going to survive this. Like, give him the information you promised. He spilled everything. He said, as anybody would.
They did this, they did that. The facility was fake. Yo, that bitch is evil.
He had Excel sheets with all the documents. Like, yo, here's all the stuff. Like, what else you want to know?
And what's the chick name that stays riding with John?
Amanda
was over there saying, okay, so say that.
Yeah, she was over there typing everything up.
John had locations. He found. Oh my gosh,
it's crazy because like in the first Saw movie, I never thought that he would like let somebody actually go. Like when my homie Wesley from Princess Bride escaped, cut his shit off and crawled out. Like I swore John came and stomped him out and then walked in the room. I swore. I'm like he ain't letting him go.
Hold up.
Like I could have bicycle. I could have sworn he stomped him out on the way to the room. But even though he was, in the room already, but you know what I mean, got up and left and stomped him out. But
he was in the room the whole time.
But he actually let him go, so that let me know, like, okay, you can actually, you know what I mean,
keeps his word.
Yeah,
but you need to leave with a lesson learned.
Yeah, you gotta change life around, and it's crazy how like some people. Like, first, I thought it was crazy where niggas that survived the trap started working for him and becoming part of it. But then the more I think about it, I'm like, all right, that's an extreme event in your life. So, of course, it's going to rewire your brain. You're gonna change. So, in a weird way, it kind of makes sense, even though some people that followed him, I don't really understand. But, that's neither here nor there. That's in the future. That's not now. But, like, with Amanda, I can kind of see why. You know what I mean? Like,
in a way, he saved.
Like, she was a drug addict. She didn't do drugs no more.
Yeah.
And that, her being a drug addict is why she was fucking empathetic towards Gabriella, because, like, she was suffering from the same thing. That's why she was always trying to, like, kind of protect her in a way. And she was supposed to drive her to the hospital until the super bitch fucked everything up.
Came and stepped on her fucking neck. Her trap was fucked up, too. She was getting burnt
by radiation, and then had to fucking take the fucking hammer and fucking break her leg and then break her arm. I couldn't even watch that shit, man. I couldn't even watch that. I'm like, yo, man, like, what the fuck is going on? It's the sounds, man. The visual is bad enough, but you got the sounds. I'm like, I'm hearing accurate bones breaking. I don't want to be here. I don't want to hear this.
So when you watch that scene, this is for anybody about to go see this shit. When you watch that scene, you have to look at the fact that this looked too fucking real. Because I watched her foot break. And
nigga, Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I was Batman half that fucking joint, man.
Sure, you was Dracula.
I'm like, yeah. Look, yo, I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. These joints was crazy. These movies are crazy, but this right here was, this was something else. If you can't tell, really fucking enjoyed the movie. If niggas watching this part, I'm assuming you seen the shit, but yo, crazy.
We really enjoyed the movie.
Loved it.
We really enjoyed the movie. And once again, before we check out, I will never go back to the Cherry Hill Theater again.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
And
Luckily, the movie was uninterrupted when it started, but it's just a combination of all kinds of bullshit at theater repeatedly. I'm done.
Yeah.
Y'all don't get my business no more. If y'all want to keep fucking this shit up and not give a fuck, then okay, you don't get the money.
Yeah,
so,
I'm
fuck
done.
It.
And this is coming from you, who introduced me to IMAX, and this is coming from me, who has been going to that theater ever since it had been built, because that's my home, my hometown.
Yeah.
So for me to watch it fall, I'm disappointed. But for me to see a bunch of workers there who don't give a fuck, for me to see a concession stand that barely has popcorn and pretzel bites prepared, for me to see bathrooms always tacky and ridiculous, for me to walk inside of an auditorium for a new screening, but there's popcorn left over from 3 shows ago. No, I'm done with you.
That's a wrap. That is a wrap. Great fucking movie. Bad fucking theater. That's our experience with Saw.
We come to this place for a reawakening. We come to the theaters to scream, to beg, to play. That indescribable feeling we get when the lights flicker on and off, and your calls for mercy go unanswered, and you wake up chained in a dirty warehouse, somehow still breathing, blood-soaked blades on a huge silver screen. Fear that I can feel. Somehow, self-amputation feels good in a place like this. Traps. They make movies better.
Man, what the fuck? Yo, what the fuck did you just show me, dog?